So hear me out on this. What is more powerful than a good question? There it is. The question itself is making you think about the power of a question. So this is something that I've actually been studying and thinking a lot about, the power of a good question. And what's so fascinating about questions is that it requires what is inside, what is hidden, to come out. If you ask me a question, it requires me to reveal what I'm thinking inside of my heart and mind. And this is why I do the question of the day. It's because I want us to think a little deeper, to go a little bit deeper and ask ourselves some of the harder questions that are hidden inside of us, and we begin to understand what we actually believe by a good question. So here is what Tony Robbins said. He said, the quality of your life is a direct reflection of the quality of questions you are asking. And I began to do a little more digging in the world of questions, specifically the Bible. I was curious how many questions Jesus asked, because I've been studying him for 5 years and I know that he asked a lot of questions. So I found an amazing question in John chapter 5, verse 6. But before I get to that, I want to tell you a little bit more context around questions in the Bible and how it's revealing what is hidden inside of the human heart, and God is asking us to bring it to light. Why? Because he desires to heal us. He desires to set us free through the power of questions. So here we go. So I looked this up and I found it very interesting that Jesus is recorded, some scholars say, of asking anywhere between 300 to 350 questions. And what's most interesting is that the amount of questions is basically doubled because it starts by someone asking him a question, but he always, literally close to 95% of the time, doesn't answer the question. He actually only answers the question directly 3 times in the Gospels. If not, he literally responds with another question. Why? Because he wants to hear what's inside the person's heart and mind. So here we go. This is an amazing story of Jesus healing a man who had been paralyzed for 38 years. So it says, when Jesus saw the man and knew that he had been sick for such a long time, Jesus asked him, "Do you want to be well?" So I found it very interesting, the question that he asked. So he's a paralyzed man. Imagine yourself walking across a paralyzed man and having the ability to heal him. What would you say? Do you want to be healed? Do you want your legs to work again? But he asked a very interesting question. He asked, "Do you want to be well?" It is such a specific question that encapsulates far more than the ability to walk again. He's talking about his soul. He's talking about his spirit. He's talking about his body when he says, "Do you want to be well?" Because Jesus doesn't just heal the symptom of the paralyzed man. He heals the deepest part of his need, which is salvation from his sins. And he sets him free in this moment, not only from being bound, from being a paralytic, but he also sets him free from himself in his former way of living in sin. So Jesus is asking all of us this question today, and it's the question of the day. Do you want to be well? Do you want the fullness of health to be completed inside of your heart and mind and soul? So a powerful question is being asked. And my question to you is, what are you going to believe? So comment below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.